come up with $1 million to, to $3 million. Okay, especially if it's just cash, if you only need cash, like where are you going to get $1 million or $2 million cash, right? And so, for instance, like we just bought a property where the owner was charging $20 for a 10 by 10 and the market called for $100. And so he was leaving a lot of money on the table, and but he was fine with making, the money that he was making per month, because he was living off that. He was making $8,000 a month, and he was like, this good money. I'm making $100,000 a year. It's good. But the truth is that he was leaving a lot of money on the table. So we bought that property for $1 million. A bank wouldn't touch it because it wasn't making the income that that it was valued at. And because we had to pay a little bit more for it, but not too much. And so we bought the property for $1 million. We raised the money in the fund. We bought the property for $1 million. We raised the rents. And we made a lot of people mad, so like 30% of those tenants left, but a lot of tenants were happy that they raised the rates because it gave them an excuse to actually leave. And then all the while that we raised the rents and got all those tenants out, we were getting new tenants in that were willing to pay $100 a month. And so that's really stabilizing the property. And you do that with having a website, being online, doing ads, marketing online for tenants and things like that. And so really that's really what we do, is we implement that. And so that property was our very first property we bought in the fund, and we've had it now like 6 months. It's doing great. And we'll be able to do a payout at the end of the first quarter here for that. And we took it. In fact, the owner was making $8,000 a month. In the very first month that we bought that property, we made $12,000. So that just kind of goes to show that, he was just leaving a lot of money on the table. That's for sure. So that property, he was making $8,000 a month, and he should be making between $20,000 and $25,000 a month. Right. So minimum 20,000 up to 25,000 based on us getting that thing up in full and running. And so that's kind of what we do with the properties, but we need cash to buy those. We need cash, because banks won't touch them, especially nowadays, because banks are being so conservative on everything they do. And they want the DSR to be at 1.3, and they just want it's just crazy terms right now, and it's super high interest rates. So we typically ask for 18 to 24 months to stabilize those properties. And then within 18 to 24 months, what we're going to do is refi them out, and then we'll hold them for 3 more years. So the fund itself, this fund is, it's a 5-year hold, right? And that's what we're going to do, is we're going to buy from now until the end of the year. We're supposed to buy at least 4 to 5 more facilities. We have 2 under contract right now, and that's what I'm trying to raise the money for. And so we'll have anywhere from, depending on the price range, from 6 to 7, 6 to 8 facilities. And then depending on how much money that we raise, and then we'll just manage those facilities and stabilize those for the next 18 to 24 months. You'll get distributions in the 18 to 24 month time period that we actually, buy those facilities. After 18 to 24 months, you'll get distributions from us refining those out. And then on the back end, after 3 years of just holding the property, we'll sell those facilities, and then you'll get another distribution. So that's really how the fund is working. Okay. So that's really kind of all of that in a nutshell. And it's me and my husband, and our job internally is I'm finding them and funding them. Right. That's my job. And then my husband runs them. So he's the big guy, the big guy that bosses everybody around, tells everybody what to do. And we're vertically integrated. So we don't have third-party management or anything like that. My husband is the type of person that he gets out there and fixes stuff, so we're because that's the type of properties that we buy, it's you got to get out there. Now we do have boots on the ground people that do all the day-to-day stuff, but we bought a facility in Macon, and we got a great deal on this one. This is the second property that we bought, and we picked up, it's 171 units on almost 6 acres of land. So great opportunity for the next person to build on. We won't do that. We'll stabilize, we'll make it look beautiful. We'll get it all up and running. And then, we'll hand it off to somebody that wants add on, but yeah, we bought that. We picked it up for $375,000, and that property Once we stabilize it at the 170 units that it has, it'll be worth over $2 million. All right. And so all we have to do is like paint it and kind of fix it up. It is kind of ugly. It's pretty mismanaged. And it wasn't really making that much money, so we overpaid for it, obviously, because it wasn't making any money. But in the back end, give us like a couple of years to really make this thing beautiful and stabilize it. And we'll be able to refi it out, and then we'll be able to sell it on the back end too as well. So those are types of deals that we look at. And my husband really manages the hands-on and the boots on the ground and the whole team that does all that management part. And I find them and I fund them. Okay. Oh, all right, so let me share my screen and I'm going to get you into presentation here. Oh, actually, I went to the wrong one. Stop sharing. Go to this one. There it is. Okay. So here's the presentation. And I'm going to just, you have access to this in the portal. Okay, so I'll show you where to find the slide deck and all of the documents and stuff inside the portal. But let me just go through kind of the offering real fast so that you have an idea of what we're offering. And then I'll go over some of the deals as well too. Okay, so I'll show you the numbers and the financial model. Okay, so we're trying to raise up to almost $8 million. All right. And our targeted IRR is 19%. I'll show you the IRR based on our financial model here in a second, but it's the targeted IRR is 19%, but we're well above that right now. 5 years is the whole time. The preferred return is 10%. So whatever amount of money that you put into the fund, you'll make 10% on it. And then the split is an 80-20 split or a 75-25 split, right? So that basically looks like this. So for, anything up to 10%, so anything up to the preferred return, the only split that we get is a 96-4. So we, as the co-invest, we're putting 4% of our money in as well too. And then, so if we only make a 10%, if we only make the 10% return, then essentially it's a 96-4. If we get above 10% up to 15%, it's a 76-4-20 split. All right, so 76% to y'all, 20% to us, and 4% to us for co-investing. All right, and then thereafter, if we get over 15%, then the split is 71-4-25. So 25% to us for the milestone, for the hurdle, 4% for co-investing, and then 71% for investing. Okay, so those are really the three hurdles. Those are called the waterfall. They're really like milestones or hurdles is what they are. Okay. And then also just, the minimum investment into the fund is $25,000. All right. But you have to be an accredited investor. So that means that you have to have $1 million of net worth, or you have to either make $200,000 or $300,000 on your tax return, depending on how you file. Okay, so that's really what this is. So this is a 506C Reg D fund is what it is. Okay. Okay. And then finally, the fees. We have two fees. One fee is a management fee, which is a 0.625% of the gross purchase price on an annual basis. So if we buy $1 million property, we make $6,250. Okay. And then the acquisitions fee is 0.50%. So, we'll only make that as a one-time fee. But other than that, we don't have any refinance fees or disposition fees or anything like that. Now, developing, if we were going to go out there and build and add on and do some stuff like this, which we don't really think we will, but if we end up doing that for some reason, then we would get a 5% development fee and a 7.5% general contractor fee. Okay. So that we just added just in case. So that's really that. And then if you go through the presentation, right, you could see there's information about us. The fund is buying properties in Florida and Georgia. That's where that's where they are. Okay, so we're focusing. All right, just because we live in Tallahassee. And we're all of our people are throughout Georgia and Florida. So and actually what we do is we really build many portfolios throughout the state of Georgia and Florida. We have a north, an Atlanta, we have a North Georgia, an Atlanta, South Georgia, and then we have Florida. So we have like these like kind of like mini portfolios, and we have boots on the ground people that really manage all those. So so that's kind of how we do it. That's kind of how we manage it. Okay. All right. And so, and then I'm in here, I'm in the portal. So let me log out so I can make sure that you get access. So when you come to the Self-Storage Fund of America link, so make sure, Anne, you could just post this into the chat. And when you click on this, what you're going to have to do is ask for, get approval to access the PPM. So you want to click on this and you just set up a portal account right here. So you just, typical account information. All right. And then Anne is going to give you access to the portal. Okay. And then once you get into the portal, it's going to look like, let me just go into like how it's going to look for you. It's going to look like this. Okay. So actually it's not going to look like this. What's going to look like is you're going to have access only to the PPM. Okay. And it's going to look like this really. It's going to be like, here's the PPM and you can read it. All right. And it's, it's everything that you need inside the PPM is here. You have the, I don't know if you can see that or not, but yeah, you have you can make it bigger and read it, or you can download and read it if you want to, but the PPM is really just like the rules and regulations of the fund, right? It's like the Bible of the fund. And so we're going to go through that and, you check it out, read the rules, read the regulations. There's a whole bunch of like case studies in there of like deals that we've done previously, all the deals that we've ever done are in here. So we've done $25 million of real estate transactions in the last 10 years. Okay. And then the operating agreement is also in here. All right. So, to see if you want to see the operating agreement starts right here as well. Okay. So everything that you need is kind of right here in this little section, this little PPM. Okay. So that's there. So now you read the PPM and you're like, yeah, I do. I'm thinking about doing this. Sounds like a good idea, right? So now you're going to upgrade. It says right here, upgrade to investor status. When you upgrade to investor status, then it's going to look like this. Okay. I've already upgraded, so I'm past that stage. But the main thing is I want you to get access to the documents, because inside the documents is where you're going to get like, all the supporting documents and things that you need to look at, to see if it's something that you want to do. And then also the quarterly reports are here. So we had one quarterly meeting. So our first quarter was we had it in November. And so we had our first quarterly meeting. And so we went we had the quarterly report, and then we went through the financial model, and we updated it, and we just kind of, all the investors showed up. We had I think we had 15 or 16 investors at the time, and they all showed up. They were super excited. And then they all asked questions. You can ask questions and stuff like this. Okay. So we're very transparent, showing you what we're doing. We have a great team. You'll be able to meet Adam, who's our fund manager. Anne is here. So she's on the team as well too. She's investor relations. So if you have any questions, we're here to help you. And then here's the supporting documents. I always make this to 100 so I could just see all of them, because there's 14 of them. All right. But so you can go through the supporting documents and you'll see Able Self-Storage is the one that we bought. And then also, so that we're buying right now, and Max is here. So I'll show you that one as well. And this is the investor presentation. So if you wanted to watch it, you wanted to look at it, this is the slide deck. And, there's a whole bunch of good information, but then the financial model is right here. So I'm going to download the financial model. And then if you wanted to see Adam's video about Adam going over the new financial model, it's here as well. So he's the administrator. So he's the one that does the financial model. That's what he does. Okay. So anyways, but all that's here. So you can check it out under supporting documents, just under the documents tab. And you can just play, once you get into the investor status mode, you can play around, see the dashboard and things like that. Okay. So there's that. So let me open these up, and I'm going to show you a couple of the deals. I'm going to show you the two deals. Let me see, actually, it's right here, and open this up so I can show you. I'm just opening up these documents that I downloaded here. Let me stop share because it's not coming up properly. Okay. All right. So this one here, Max, I'm going to share this one with you. This is look how much not coming up. Hang on. Okay. Now I got it. So this one is the one that I was telling you about that we bought for $375,000. And I put it into the fund because it's such a good deal. You know, I want to have like good deals for us in these funds, you know. It doesn't matter what the price is, just as long as it's a great deal. We can all share in the deal, you know. So this is in Macon. And if you know anything about Macon, Georgia, it's like it's a huge city. It's like 200,000 people in this metro area. I mean, it's massive, it's growing, but it's very industrial. It's very like rent oriented. It kind of reminds me of like a mini version of like Memphis or something like this, you know? And and so we bought the ugliest storage facility in Macon. I'm going to tell y'all, right? So this is what it looks like. The owner just bought it and ran it to the ground, and he just did not take care of it properly. He put money in like weird spots, like he was like investing in like the weirdest things, you know. So as you can see, he painted it, and then he ran out of paint, and so he didn't finish the buildings over here. There's two more buildings over here that he didn't even finish. Okay. And so we're going to come in. We're already getting quotes for paint. We already got great, beautiful sign up. We got things going, you know, we're getting everything going and stuff. So it'll be fixed up here within the next couple of months and looking good. The main thing that we had to do for this one is put lighting, because there is not any lighting here. So it's like pitch dark, you know, so like I can't do 24-hour access and stuff either, you know, so we got lighting put up, you know, cameras, things like that. Okay. So that's what it looks like. Okay. So it's in the Dawsonville is like a little tiny town in between Macon and Warner Robins, but it's really Macon. So you can see the growth rate is at 4.5. I mean, it's just growing tremendously, this area. It's very good area in Georgia, affordable. You know, population within like a 5 mile radius is 40,000. In 7 miles, it's 80,000. And then in 10 miles, it's 188,000. So, I mean, we're in a very, very good area. And actually, there's actually 3 storage facilities in this area that are our competition. And my husband went and he, looked at the facility, and he went to every single one. And so he went here. There's no office here. It's just drive up. This one was actually on sale for $2 million on Crexy. Just like maybe a couple months ago. I'm not sure if it's sold or not, but this one is for sale. And then there's like 2 others that are kind of like over here that are bigger ones, and they have offices and stuff. Like there's somebody working there. And so he went in and pretended to run a unit from them, and got the prices and stuff, because he wanted to see what the prices were. And that's where we came up with the 85 cents per square foot. So they charge $85 for 10 by 10s. And so we came up with 85 cents a square foot just to like know what our goal is going to be, on the back end. And so you can see this, the property is this, and then it comes in right here as well. It's like this one, and it looks like maybe like a hammer or an axe or something. It kind of looks like that. Okay, there's like one piece of property right here, and then there's another piece of property right there. That's what it looks like. Okay. It's like a long building here. And then there's that like a warehouse, and there's a couple buildings in here. Okay. But you can see the numbers here, right? So we picked it up for $375,000. He was making $14,000. There's 171 units. He can only use 92. The rest of 80 of them are unusable. So like the doors are broken, the latches are broken, something's wrong with them. All right. So we have to fix those. All right. But still, he has 92 units that he could have rented out, but he just only had, he's only making $1,000 a month. It's about 15,000 square feet. He's about 66 cents a square foot, 88% vacant. I mean, 88% vacant is like typical for us. Like those numbers are very normal. These are the types of facilities that we buy. All right. And you can see we ran the numbers at 78 cents. We figure we'd be cheaper than everybody else in the area, so we could fill up. So once we get it painted, get lights, get security cameras, it's already gated. It's got a very nice gate. But like once we really clean the facility up, then we'll start, really pushing and trying to get to the 78 cents a square foot. So at 78 cents a square foot, it's coming out to about $2 million. Okay. So we're really taking it from a -2 cap to a 24 cap is what we're doing. Okay. So that's what we're going to be able to sell it. We ran the numbers at a 7 cap, which really this is downtown prime Macon. We could probably even go more than that, but we just ran it conservatively at a 7 cap. Okay. So that's the Macon deal. We all get to share in those. The IRR on this property is like 33% or something like that. It's like crazy IRR. Okay. So that's one of the deals, right? I'm going to show you the one I'm trying to raise money for, like 2 deals right now. I'm going to show you another one I'm trying to raise money for. This is the one I'm trying to raise money for. There's 2 of them, but you know, they're both awesome, great deals. Let me see. Do I have it here? Let me know, you know, if you have any questions or anything too. Fund. How come I can't find it? Hang on, let me do it again. Able, here it is. Okay. Okay. So this one is Able. This is I'm trying to raise money for. I picked this up for $1.4 million. Okay. So there's like a big like a big warehouse here where there's like I think we'll show you some pictures of it, of like he's making $600 on each unit in here. And this is the storage is here. Okay. And so here's the storage. And then here's the bill. You see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. Is that 8 or 9? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay. Yeah. So he's charging $600 a month for those. And they're each 2,000 square feet. So this building itself, 18,000 square feet. It's a massive, huge building. And he's only charging $600 a month. And these people have been there forever. Like this person right here in the very front, it's a band, and they've been like, they do their band practice there. And so he just has not raised the rents at all, you know. And actually, this I think would be great if we could do, this would be one, like maybe we could convert into climate control. That if we could raise the money to do that, I would do that. And I would, you know, but for now I'm just running it like as is. You know, running it as is, looking at the numbers, is if I buy this thing and don't do anything to it except for raise the rents, what are we going to make on it? All right. But like, maybe after I stabilize this and stuff, maybe we could look at converting it, you know. We'll see how that goes. So, but it's all gated and fenced. I mean, it's a nice looking storage facility. Like it's bad. It's a bad storage facility. Needs a little work, you know, but not too bad. I mean, that has that whole parking area in the front, up at the front here too, where we could even like fence it. Let me see if I can show you the overview here. It's in Carrollton, Georgia, which if anybody knows anything about Atlanta, Carrollton is like a suburb of Georgia, like a suburb that's growing very, very quickly as well too. It's a great area to be investing in. It's a very, very good area. And so, yes, here's the facility itself, right? And then you can see there's like a big open area here too. I'm like, maybe we could do parking or something in here, you know, we could maybe put the fence, but this area is not fenced in. So we'll kind of see and play it by ear, like what we could do for that too. Okay, but that's what it looks like. And it's in Atlanta. It's a suburb. Carrollton is a suburb. This is all primary market. Honestly, Villa Ricas are here. There's Mableton. There's all kinds of like cities here. And then we own 4 other facilities right in this area. So for like our boots on the ground person to pick this up is like just like adding another, storage facility to his route. So it's like this is like normal for us. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so now that's 1.4 million dollars that we're raising the money for. And he said he's making 150 grand. Actually, in SiteLink, it's saying that he's making 150 grand, but his P&L is not saying that. His P&L is saying that he's making like 70 grand, maybe 70 grand at that. And that's another thing. So we took it to the bank and the banks were like, no, we're not financing this, right? And that's like a typical mismanaged facility because he has like 3 companies and he's just like commingling all his funds, and his P&L and balance sheets just are horrible, right? So it's like, these are the types of deals that we fund. And this is what we're going to be funding through the fund, right? And that's what we need your help with. So he's making 150 grand. It's showing in SiteLink, which is the software that he uses to manage the property. But we can't get it fund, but all we're going to do is just raise the rents. That's it. And when we raise the rents to where it's supposed to be, I can see if I can pull the numbers up. When we raise the rents to where it's supposed to be, the value of this property goes up to like $3.5 million because like I said, he's not charging what he should be charging. And so we just need to stabilize it. And it's going to take us like 6 to 9 months to really stabilize it. and then start getting that cash flow in and stuff, right? So we always say too, like if it's an income producing property that's not making what it should make, give us like 6 to 9 months to really kind of clean that thing up. And then after, like by the third quarter, you should be starting to make a return from that. Okay. And so give us a couple of months to get in there and kind of clean it up. But then after that, you'll make a quarterly distribution from that facility, right? So, but the fund is as a whole, right? So we're going to have like, several facilities within the fund. So you'll be making a small distribution from all the funds, but that one facility is going to take us anywhere from 6 to 9 months to start making a little bit of money, but to like 18 to 25 months, or 18 to 24 months to fully stabilize it to where it's like 90% full. All right. Because remember, if we're raising the rents, then a lot of people leave, right? And then you have to like restabilize it and stuff. Okay. So like your quarterly distributions just increase over time. And then we'll do the refi out, and then you'll get a big distribution. All right. And then we'll just, everybody will get like a small distribution until we sell again. Okay. That's really how it works. All right. Okay. Let me see. And and then also the last one I have too is Beacon. I really want to show y'all this one because we're trying to raise money for this one as well too. And Beacon is an all indoor climate control. So let me get into the Google Drive and just see if I can find a couple pictures for y'all of this one. And let me see, Beacon. Here it is. Pictures. Stacy's pictures. Okay. Just hang in there with me. I appreciate you guys listening, hanging in. And let me share my screen. Yeah, here it is. Okay. This is what this one looks like. It's indoor climate control. It is actually a very nice facility that has been being run to the ground. The manager of this property is a dinglebat. And it's just like it's a building that's like 30,000 square feet. And let me show you the picture here it is. This is the picture. It's a building in downtown Leesburg, Florida, which is like a suburb of Orlando. It's a very good, amazing hot market. And this building is like an eyesore, and the city hates this building, but the owner hates the city. So he's had this building yellow for like 20 years or something. And he doesn't want to paint it. Okay. So he came in, excuse me, I have a cold too as well. But he came in, he decided he was going to do storage. And so this half part right here, this starting here, this is all storage. This is the storage part, the indoor climate. This up here is commercial retail space, which is also horrible, but they're trying to fix it up. They're in the process of fixing it up. Somebody rented this space out for $9,000. It's coming out to like $9,000 a month. Okay, because it's like right on the main street in like this like downtown Leesburg, right next to Beacon University, or Beacon College is what it is, I think, which is like a very famous private college for special needs people. All right. And so it's like a very, and then like that, if you buy something near a college, essentially, that like when people are coming and going every quarter, so that's how the price is. So he's like, I talked to Benji, who's the manager. I went there Wednesday and I just checked on the property, and he was like, students are starting to come back. He's like, all the prices have been increased, and they're just like, they're just trying to get a fit. Like they just, they're trying to figure it out, but they're not doing a really good job. But so he's saying like people are starting to come in and then like maybe during the summer, some of the people leave, and then also another thing that's really funny about this property, oh my gosh, is that it is not 24 hours. It's not 24/7. Benji comes and unlocks the door every day. And he stays there from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and he locks the door at 5 o'clock and leaves. And then on Saturday, he's only there from 9 to 12. It is not 24 access. The owner's too cheap to put a security system in and a keypad. So essentially, when we buy this thing, it's going to be like 24/7. And actually, all the owners, like, sorry, all the tenants, like if you ask them, like, what would be the one thing that if you could change about the storage facility, it would be the access 24/7. Because I was there and like one of the tenants like drove up at like 4:20. I was like, I have to grab something, don't close it. Me and Benji were outside talking, and he's like, an old guy that's like trying to run into the storage facility to get his thing before the thing closes. Like, he said, Benji says, I have all my tenants trained. They have to leave by 5 o'clock. And I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, like, do you know how much money you're leaving on the table? Like what you're doing to this, like this building? And that's how they run the facility. I mean, that's like severely mismanaged facility. You know what I'm saying? So, but we negotiated into the price that they're going to paint this building. I was like, if you want us to buy this, you have to paint this. And then they're also redoing the windows or doing a lot of construction. So that's why I went there on Wednesday to go check on it. So we're in the due diligence period now, but the due diligence period ends pretty soon. And they're working on getting this fixed up as at least okay fixed up. It's not like to the best, the best, but it's going to be okay when we buy it. And then we'll come in and maybe do a little bit more work and stuff on it. So the owner just signed a 3-year lease for the tenant to rent this whole space out. It's $9,000 a month. It's like massive, huge. It doesn't look small, but it's like a massive, huge space. And so that's the first thing. They're supposedly moving in this week. And I wanted to call Benji and talk to him and see what happened. And Pete's going to drive over there this weekend and go over there and check on it. And so yeah, so that's like 9 times 12. What is that? Like that's like 100 grand, right? That's like 100 and 100 grand or 100. I think we put 108,000 on them, but that's where the $100,000 income comes in. That's starting like now, like as soon as we buy the facility, because we're supposed to close in the next like month or so. Okay. And so that's one thing. And then the storage in the back is great. It looks really good. I mean, there's some there's some broken units. They're not that big of a deal. All right. But we have to lease it up because it's 24, it's not 24/7. So they're having a hard time getting it leased up because of the way they're managing it. Okay. That's two things about that. The really, really good thing about this facility is that he is owner financing this, all right, because he wants $2.4 million for this facility. When we run the numbers, it comes out to like $1.4 million for what he's making right now as is, and he wants 2.4 million. So I told him essentially basically what I tell you guys and everybody else, like nobody's going to finance this deal. Like nobody is going to finance this. So if you want to sell it, because he's been trying to sell it and nobody's buying it. And so I basically explained, me and then John, who's working with me, he said, you have to owner finance it. And I told John, I was like, we got to get this owner financed. So finally, these negotiations been going on since like November. And so finally, we convinced the owner to owner finance. And so he wants $2.4 million. He wanted $3 million. We got him down to $2.4 million. He wants $700,000 down. So I need to raise $700,000 to buy this. And then he's giving us a 2-year loan at interest only payments. And then in 2 years, we have to refi that out. Because I told him, I was like, I need 2 years to come in and stabilize this property. So give me 2 years. And he said, fine. So the interest, and he's doing that at 5% interest. So a very good interest rate as well, too. So really, it's like $700,000 down, 2 years interest only payments. The payments come out to $7,000 a month. And then in 2 years, we'll be able to refi out and get a loan, and it'll be stabilized enough so that we can go and get a loan, right? Because actually, we're starting to make $100,000 as soon as we close on the property, anyways. So plus he's making like $9,000 a month is what he's making. All right, he's making $9,000 a month. So let me see. And then plus he's now going to be making the 9,000 from the commercial space. So that's $18,000. Like he's going to be making when we buy the property, he'll be making $18,000 a month. So let me show you like the deal analyzer. Let me find the deal analyzer so that y'all can see, but at least you kind of get an idea of the scenario. Y'all still hanging on, right? We got David, Henry, Ronaldo, y'all hanging on, listening to my stories here. Okay. And hopefully I'm not putting you to sleep. All right. But yeah, so let me close this and then let me open this one up here. Yeah. Okay, so let me share the screen here. We're gonna do this. Okay. So let's change this number to 2.5. Actually, let's do, oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, 2.5 million. No, sorry, 2.4. This is my deal analyzer. And he wants to make $700,000 down. So that's like 40%, right? No, it's not 40, it's 30%. Yeah. And he wants 5% interest, and he wants interest only loans 2/2. Okay, so just 2 years, basically what it is. Okay. Okay, so see, it comes out to $7,000 a month. So this is the terms of the loan. Okay, so you can see the cash on cash is 29%. All right, and then we have the other income here. Actually, let's put this at right. Let's put it like, wait. Well, actually, no, because he's got a couple other commercial spaces, but let's just put it like, let's just say 120 for his other income. Yeah, this is what it looks like. Okay, and so then so now, and so he's making nine, what's 9 times he's making, let's just say he's making 144,000. He's making somewhere around there 12,000. He's making 12, actually he's making $12,000 a month is what it is. So it's about 100 doors. No, inside the climate control. No, that's not right. No, but we're still trying to figure out the number because he doesn't need to know the number, but it's definitely like 150 doors, something like this. And the square footage, let's say, is like 15,000. 15 to 19,000. So something like that. We're still trying, because he gives us the numbers and we're trying to still calculate all that. But anyways, the point is that we're running the numbers and looking at these numbers, and it's going to be around $5 million or more on the back end once we stabilize this property. Okay. Once we stabilize the property, it's going to be around $5 million. We've checked all of the competition in the area. There's 3 competitors that are like right there in the downtown area. There's a CubeSmart, a U-Haul, and then like some other like personal storage or something like that. I can't remember what the name of it is, but they're right around $2 a square foot is where they are. And we're running our numbers, let's say at like 175 to like 190 maybe, or something like that is kind of where we need to be. And then you have to remember that he also has that income from like all the commercial space, because he has like about 15,000 square feet of commercial space in there. It doesn't look like it, but it's quite a bit. And then maybe like 15 or so, 17,000 square feet of locker space. All right. So, and then he's not full, right? He's not full as well too. So he's making about $12,000 a month right now. And he says he's around 25. And remember, he has no documents. He has no P&L. He does not want to show his P&L. Like, he sent us over like his unit mix and he's writing it down. And it's just like a whole bunch of chicken scratch. Like, we're really trying to figure this thing out. It's just a big mess, honestly. But overall, in the end, we're going to double the value of this property. That's the goal, is to double the value of this property and then be able to sell it, right? So that's kind of what we're looking for this one as well too. But the good thing is that he's owner financing the deal. So we can really buy this property for $700,000 down. So I need to raise $700,000 to purchase this property. It's a very good income producing property, right? And it's already producing income. We'll be able to pay the mortgage at $7,000 a month, and then some expenses and stuff. We'll be able to definitely pay all that. And then the goal is just increase the rents, really kind of figure out the market, get it online, get it stabilized, and then just get it running like a real business. Because the owner lives in New York. The owner lives in New York, and then he has his cousin, Benji, running it. And Benji also has a full-time job. So he just comes over and opens it up and closes it every day at 9 and 5 is what he does. So it's just ridiculous, honestly. It's really crazy. So the good thing is that the owner is working with us. He's giving us a good deal so we can buy it. And I think, just give us a couple of years to stabilize this property. We'll be able to double the value of the property, and then we could refi it out. We could sell it if we want to, or we could refi out and hold it, depending on where it looks with the numbers and stuff. Okay. So those are a couple of the properties that we have under contract. And they're all right up our wheelhouse. Nothing about any of these properties scares us. Like, this is exactly what we do. It's a lot of work, honestly, on the front end. It's really a lot of work. But then because like it's different from income producing properties. You come in with an income producing property and it's just like making money and you're just like managing it, right? But like when you buy a mismanaged facility, it's really a lot of work on the front end. So you just have to kind of like, work with us, bear with us while we're getting in there and getting it online and getting it stabilized, getting marketing out there and getting the properties actually filled up. So those are the types of investors that we're looking for right now. Okay. And again, the split is 75-25, right? I'm not going to really put anything in the deal unless I'm making 25% at least, right? And then the pref is 10%. So whatever amount of money that you put into the fund, you'll make 10% on plus that. Okay. Now, finally, just the last little bit of it. Okay. We have the financial model. And we're still like, as we go through Beacon, just so you know, as we go through Beacon and really do the deal analysis on it, the financial model is going to change. All right. But I want to give you an idea of how to use this financial model. You can get in, remember, you get right into the portal and you download it's again, you just go right into the Self-Storage Fund of America and you can download the financial model right here. So you can plug your numbers in and play around with it. Okay. And that's what I'm going to show you right now what to do. Okay. So this is the financial model. Okay, so the very first tab here, it says investor cash flow model. All right, so in yellow is what you can mess around with. You can't really mess around with anything else in the model. Okay, just so everybody knows, you can put how much money you're thinking about investing, and then you're also how much, what date you're going to put in. Right, so let's just say that you're gonna put $100,000 in. Oops, cancel. You have to put at least 25,000, but 100,000. And then you're going to put it in on 2/15. Okay. Okay. So that you can see based off the numbers right now, our IRR is at 69%. And we are not refinancing. We're not refinancing. Let's just say we do refinance our deal. We got 4 deals here. Let's refinance them. Let's just look at the numbers, how it changes. All right. So now we've got Blairsville, Bacon, Carrollton, and Beacon. All right. And obviously it's all about the market, and we're running our numbers at refinancing at 7% interest, right? So we're not going to refinance like higher than that. Excuse me. We're not going to refinance higher than that. All right. And let's just say that it takes us we're going to take 24 months to refinance. All right. So it's going to take us 2 years to get these things up and running because they're so mismanaged. And then at 2 years, we're going to refinance at 7% interest. That's the goal for this fund. And you can play around with these. This is what you can play around with here. And you can put your number in and how much you want to invest. Okay. And then as you change the numbers, this changes. So you can see if you invested $100,000 by 2/15 on 3/31, you would make 1641. All right. And 6/30, you would make this much money, right? This is based off of us refinancing, putting our money in, this kind of stuff. All right. So you could go through and you could see once we're doing the refi, right? This is where this is where like you start making the big bucks is after the refis and stuff. Okay. And you could see how much you could make overall, right? You could see that if you put $100,000 in 5 years, you're going to make $284,000, right? This is kind of what it's showing you. You're in the negative, and then eventually you'll get into the positive and you'll make some money. Okay. So you can play around with this and see what it comes up to. Now, then you have each of the 4 deals. You have the Blairsville one, Macon. We go by town is what we go by, actually. Carrollton, this should really say Leesburg on it, but it says Beacon on it for now. Right. And so then you could run the numbers, like you could look at the numbers. So you could say and when you look at a financial model, I mean, essentially you're looking at here's the acquisitions, fees, costs, etc., renovation costs, whatever we need, CapEx, things like that. That's all up here. And then you have the historicals plus what you're going to be making in 12 to 18 months, what the goal is. Okay. And then you have your gain loss from your vacancy. And then you have, phases of improvement. And then you have like your refi, your rental mix isn't put in here, but the refi right here. This is where we're refining it out. So you see it's 24. I changed it to 24 and it's a cap rate of 7. We're running it at a cap rate of 7, selling it at a cap rate of 7 with a debt with interest at 7%. I mean, that's like a very good conservative like number there, to run. And so like if we refied out Blairsville in 24 months, we would make, $1.5 million because we're planning, you could see a total, we're planning this much, the value of this much money, right? We're taking it to $3 million. So, you're going to have 2 dispositions. One of them is going to be the refi so one distribution of like the refi proceeds when we do it at the 24 mark, and then the other one at the sale mark at the disposition. Okay. That makes sense. So you can play around with this. And then also the hurdles are here too. All right. So you can see the waterfall, right? With our 10% preferred return. And then here's the 15% hurdle. And then here is the 15% or above. Like this is 10 to 15%, and then this is 15% or above. And here's the splits for everybody. So you can go through and see what the projected the IRRs are, right? You could go through and check for each deal. You could see that, okay, where we're at. Okay, and then Macon is here with the refi and the numbers. And then Carrollton, right? So I said we're buying at 1.4. Here's the numbers right here. Okay. And here's interest payments and stuff. And then Beacon as well too here. Now this model actually has a $3 million purchase price, but remember we lowered it. We got it lowered to 2.4 because we just told them after we did due diligence again, we were like, no, we can't do $3 million. You got to lower it. So we're still, we're still going through the due diligence period and working through everything on this one. It's kind of nuts. This one, this is probably of all of the ones that we bought, this one is the craziest. All right. But it's fun. It's like a puzzle. It's like a puzzle piece. All right. So that is available to you. And then as we add, you can see all the other ones are here. As we add acquisitions 5, 6, however maybe we buy by the end of the year, those will all be here as well too. And so then we'll have quarterly reports, like we'll have quarterly meetings with our investors. We go over how the fund is doing, and then we update the model based on the real true numbers, right? So these are all projections right now. And then as we go through, we'll be able to update Blairsville, update Macon, and update everything so that it becomes true numbers, right? So that's kind of how it works with us. So, and you'll be able to come into the investor meeting, ask questions. We'll go over everything, show you all the numbers, whatever it is. So what I would like for you to do is go into the portal and, make sure you have access to the portal. So you have access to the PPM, right? You have to upgrade to investor status. So you have access to the documents, get in there. And we'll keep adding documents like, once we finalize everything for Beacon, we'll add all those in there, update the financial model, that'll be updated. So as we go through the process, we're adding more documents, okay? And then when, and if you need to have a Zoom meeting and meet me at any time to go over anything, you just let me know, okay? And we can always hop on Zoom and I can walk you through everything or answer questions. And then you're going to have this steps 1, 2, 3 in the investor side of it once you upgrade to investor. And you're going to see that there's 3 different e-signs here. You could do either individual or with your spouse or partner. And then you could do a custodian that's like from your IRA or 401k or whatever. And then this is your entity, like if you want to do a company loan. Okay, so you could loan any one of these ways. You click on this. This is a DocuSign. So you just click on it, go through the subscription. The subscription is like the contract between you and the fund. And then you just answer, pick whichever, pick it, answer the questions, put your bank information in, and then we have all that and we keep track of it on the back end. Okay, so we can do your distributions. And then you'll put your accreditation letter here. All right, this is verifying that you are saying that you are an accredited investor, and then the wire instructions is there. Okay, and that's available. And then there's like news, all the news. Oh, documents are all here as well too. So if you want to scroll down here, you can see it as well. Okay, So those are all here available. So again, we're trying to raise for money for 2 deals right now. So if you could help us and work with us, we'd really appreciate it. And you know, like you said, the numbers are looking really, really good. The IRRs are great, and like we will keep refining them. But I mean, numbers at IRRs are looking at like 46% or higher right now. So, and then if we refi out, when you refi out, you get like really high IRRs, but we're running our numbers like just on cash right now, right? So, okay. All right. Any questions? Any thoughts or questions about this? You can unmute yourself, put them in the chat, whatever you need. Nobody? No questions? I put everybody to sleep. Okay. Okay, well, I'm here and Anne's going to reach out to you right after this, maybe tomorrow, not maybe after this, but tomorrow. And then, she'll give you the replay if you need the replay. And also if you need any links to the portal and stuff. Okay. I look forward to working with you, and I will see you guys soon. Okay. All right. Take care.